As is the case with just about every chain restaurant, Texas Roadhouse has some menu items that really aren't worth ordering. On the other hand, there are also some tried and true dishes you should definitely try. We sampled them all and listed them from worst to best. Listen, there are a few hard and fast rules that pertain to eating at a chain restaurant. First, if the restaurant is known for its pizza and pasta, don't order the burger. This rule applies to the ribs at Texas Roadhouse. Sure, they might sound delicious, but these aren't the baby back ribs you're going to get at Chili's. And you can bet your boots there's no catchy jingle for the ribs at Texas Roadhouse either. Ribs should pretty much always be fall off the bone tender and juicy, but you're more likely to get a plate of ribs that are overcooked and a bit burnt. But that's not the only reason you should steer clear of the ribs at Texas Roadhouse. According to Eat This, Not That, the full rack of ribs at Texas Roadhouse is literally the least healthy menu item. As nutrition expert Kelly McGrain, MSRD, told the publication, the ribs are over 1,400 calories and contain more than 40 grams of saturated fat. They're also very high in sodium, and thanks to the barbecue sauce, the ribs also contain 10 grams of sugar. When you dine out at Texas Roadhouse, there are a few menu items that probably stick out. But you should be forewarned, the pulled pork at Texas Roadhouse might just be one of the worst. Whether you get the pulled pork dinner or the pulled pork sandwich, you'll likely be disappointed. Sure, they might look good on paper, but underneath that shiny, greasy exterior is a bland menu choice that really isn't great at all. In fact, the pulled pork experience might best be summed up by one TripAdvisor review of a Texas Roadhouse, where the user described the side of utter disappointment that they were served alongside their pulled pork. The three of us eating would agree that the pulled pork barbecue was not fit for human consumption. We requested a carryout, and our 3 dogs were even reluctant to eat it. Oh, blooming onions! The giant head-sized appetizer dish that people fawn over at other chain restaurants also has a counterpart at Texas Roadhouse, dubbed the Cactus Blossom. According to the Texas Roadhouse menu, the item is described as a Texas-sized onion, golden fried and served with Cajun horseradish sauce for dipping. As delicious as a giant fried onion sounds, it's really not that great, and definitely not worth choosing over the other appetizer options. Not only is the onion a real mess to eat, it's covered in grease with little fried batter pieces that go everywhere. And it's seriously unhealthy. According to Eat This, Not That, the fried onion has more calories than a person might eat in an entire day. Sure, you might be sharing with a few friends, but that's also before the sauce, which brings us to another point. The sauce can be, to put it politely, a little polarizing. So save your calories for another menu item, one of their massive drinks, or even a dessert. The prime rib is perhaps one of the fanciest items you can order at any steakhouse. Normally, prime rib is rich, tender, and totally delectable, but at Texas Roadhouse, it's a mess on a plate. Yes, the menu item might be cheaper at Texas Roadhouse than at fancier steakhouses, but there might just be a reason for that. One TripAdvisor user claimed the prime rib they ordered during their visit to the restaurant was less than satisfactory, writing, "Ordered the 12-ounce prime rib and received 8 ounces of fat and 4 ounces of meat. Worst prime rib I've ever eaten." Now, the secret to a great steak lies in the marbling of fat all along the meat. But for a prime rib to be entirely fat is just gross. So when you head to Texas Roadhouse, stick to another cut of meat, because the prime rib ain't it. One of the most common side dishes at any restaurant, fast food or not, are French fries. If you don't specify what sides you want with your meal, you'll just get French fries. And that's the case at Texas Roadhouse. Of course, you might actually want fries, because who doesn't love a good French fry? They could be one of the most perfect foods in the world, but you don't find that extends to Texas Roadhouse. The fries at Texas Roadhouse are called steak fries, and since people love steak fries, you might be excited to give them a whirl. But at Texas Roadhouse, you shouldn't get too excited. Why? Because you're not just going to get served fries, you're going to get a heaping helping of salt too. Salt and fries go together like peanut butter and jelly, but this is just too much. If you eat out at Texas Roadhouse, avoid the steak fries. There are plenty of other side options to choose from. Obviously, if you go to Texas Roadhouse, there's a good chance you might want a good steak while you're there. It's one of the main things that Texas Roadhouse is known for, but nailing a steak can be a tricky balance. You don't want to overcook it, but at a restaurant, you also can't undercook it. You want enough fat, but not too much fat. You want it seasoned well and full of flavor, but not overly seasoned. In short, steaks are hard to do well, but still, at Texas Roadhouse, they're pretty bad. One look at the Yelp reviews for Texas Roadhouse, and it becomes clear that the famous chain restaurant has yet to nail the perfect steak, at least consistently. As one reviewer for the site noted, "I ordered a rare steak and it came back medium well." Another reviewer described the steaks as salty, and another claimed that the steaks are so tough they're hard to cut. Yeah, that's just about the opposite of what you expect when you head to a restaurant known for its delicious steak.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay.
You sure?
Not okay.
There really is nothing quite like a delicious, big, juicy burger. But if you're craving a hamburger, Texas Roadhouse probably isn't the place to go. While their burgers might look tempting, try a sandwich instead. If you're doubtful, you should consider that common complaints include burgers that are either under or overcooked, and one seasoned so much it's almost impossible to tell what the actual meat tastes like. And to top it off, the burgers are one of the most unhealthy menu items you can order from Texas Roadhouse. The fat and calories here are bad, but even worse is the sodium content. Just one of their burgers has more than the amount of sodium you should be eating in a day. So if you order the burger from Texas Roadhouse, you'll be severely disappointed and bloated. As with most steakhouses, Texas Roadhouse offers a large variety of side dishes to accompany your main course, including a few different kinds of potatoes to go along with your meal. There's fries, a baked sweet potato, mashed potatoes, and a loaded baked potato. And that loaded baked potato might just be one of the best things on the menu. Business Insider agrees, saying that the baked potato really has no place on the side dish menu, as it was so filling on its own. The publication described their own meal featuring a baked potato this way. It really was fully loaded, warm, soft, and incredibly cheesy. This baked potato was a satisfying dish all on its own. I would probably choose mashed potatoes for my side next time, but I'd eat the baked potato by itself. You might not think of a salad when you think of a place like Texas Roadhouse, but as it turns out, the salad is truly one of the best things you can order at the chain restaurant. They're all pretty tasty, but it's the chicken critter salad that regularly gets a shout out for not just being delicious, but also pretty healthy. Well, as healthy as you would expect from a restaurant salad. And they're definitely not boring.
I think it looks great.
Doesn't it look good?
What is that, grilled cheeses?
No, baked tofu.
Oh.
As one TripAdvisor user wrote in a review, the chicken critter salad really took them by surprise. First of all, it is huge and has a delicious combo of things in it. I found that the best dressing to bring out the flavors of the chicken tenders and egg and bacon, etc. is the honey mustard. You truly haven't lived until you've had a jalapeno popper, and Texas Roadhouse's take on jalapeno poppers are called Rattlesnake Bites. They're addicting. Per the restaurant's menu, they are diced jalapenos and jack cheese, hand-battered, lightly fried, and served with Cajun horseradish sauce for dipping. Obviously, the description alone should be enough to convince you that the Rattlesnake Bites are worth ordering. But if you need more proof, then just check out this review on TripAdvisor. This is an appetizer similar to jalapeno poppers, served with the horseradish dip. Killer good food. Bottom line, they may just be an appetizer, but the Rattlesnake Bites at Texas Roadhouse are truly out of this world. Oh, Texas Roadhouse, the chain restaurant might offer a ton of great entrees and combo meals, but the real stars of the show tend to be the appetizers, and the fried pickles will leave you totally satisfied and happy with your choice. The menu describes them as basket of pickle chips, hand-battered, golden fried, and served with ranch or Cajun horseradish sauce for dipping. But here's the thing, the fried pickles are so delicious and perfect, you want to eat the entire basket by yourself. Of course, pickles can be a controversial food item on their own, but even if you've never been a fan of plain pickles, you should still give fried pickles a try. You never know, they might just become a new favorite. There are a lot of ways a restaurant can mess up salmon, but it's not a huge gamble when you eat at Texas Roadhouse, because despite the fact that Texas Roadhouse is a steakhouse, the salmon is delectable. The dish is incredibly popular with fans of the steakhouse chain on social media. One Texas Roadhouse fan on Twitter called it their all-time favorite, while another patron said that they could eat the dish every day. While fish might not exactly be what you initially think of when you head to Texas Roadhouse, you shouldn't discount the salmon if you ever find yourself at the beloved steakhouse. After all, trying new things is part of the fun in eating out, right? If you're from the South or spent any amount of time in the region, you probably know just how delicious a chicken fried steak can be. A tender, juicy slab of sirloin steak, deep fried to perfection and dripping in grease and gravy. It's truly an edible masterpiece and Southern comfort food you need to try. And the country fried sirloin at Texas Roadhouse is the perfect example of that. As the menu describes it, the entree is a hand-battered fresh-cut sirloin, served crispy and golden, topped with made-from-scratch cream gravy. Customers are definitely fans of this offering that combines all that's good about hearty comfort food on a single plate, with some native Texans even going as far as declaring this the best country fried steak they've ever had. If there is one thing that Texas Roadhouse is known for, it's the free rolls and butter that come to your table when you're waiting to order and receive your food and drinks. There's a ton of copycat recipes that claim they'll help you make your own rolls at home, because people just love them that much. But they're not quite the same. And don't just take our word for it. A review on Business Insider claimed that while the rolls were fine, it was the combination of the rolls and the special cinnamon butter that made the combination so perfect. They wrote, "The buns were slightly oily and crispy on the outside. By themselves, they weren't all that special. However, they were clearly created to be married to the lightly sweet and slightly spiced cinnamon butter." So there you have it. If there's one thing you simply must try at Texas Roadhouse, it's the rolls and butter. And go ahead and ask for a second order. You'll need it. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more MASH videos about your favorite restaurant chains are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.